The reality is we're at war. That's how our troops feel about it, because they're taking the fight to ISIL every day, applying the might of the finest fighting force the world has ever known.
These continuing efforts to reevaluate and enhance our military campaign, and would be interested in any further steps that may be under consideration to intensify the military pressure on ISIL in Iraq and Syria. And I think we all agree that that intensity has to be increased significantly and rapidly.
Secretary, on the 1st of December, before the House Armed Services Committee, Congressman Forbes asked General Dunford, quote, "Have we currently contained ISIL?" General Dunford, we have not contained ISIL. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with General Dunford?
I agree with what General Dunford said, yes.
So if we have not contained, ISIL, how are we to believe that we are succeeding against ISIL?
I think that we are building momentum against ISIL.
I guess the point is, Mr. Secretary, here we are with attacks on the homeland, the United States of America. We have not contained ISIL, and we have no timeline. The timeline I was given when Senator Graham and I went over there was at least the end of next year before Mosul, and there is no plan, no strategy to retake Raqqa.
We have the military capacity to impose a no-fly zone. The question that we need to ask is, do we have the political and policy backdrop with which to do so? And I don't mean that in the case of our government, but in the case of the governments who would challenge the no-fly zone. So if we're asking the question, could we do it, the answer is yes. Are we willing to engage the potential of a conflict, a direct conflict, with the Syrian integrated air defense system or Syrian forces, or by corollary, a miscalculation with the Russians, should they choose to contest the no-fly zone?
General, I must say, it's one of the more embarrassing statements I've ever heard from a uniformed military officer, that we are worried about Syria and Russia's reaction to saving the lives of thousands and thousands of Syrians who are being barrel-bombed and massacred.
What this president or future president does in terms of fighting ISIL, defund it. That's your job. I am making a simple proposition to this president that I will give you whatever you need in terms of my authorization to go wherever you need to go, as long as it takes to use whatever available tools you have within legal limits to destroy this threat. Mr. President, are you all in or not? Now, the Secretary of Defense seems to be indicating this is good military policy. Let the enemy know without hesitation there's no limitations on time, means, or location when it comes to destroying ISIL. Mr. President, embrace this authorization for you and future presidents because the country needs it.